Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop. This is another one of those videos where we're just calling out a shithead customer. Having a lot of trouble with the customer lately. I seem to be having to make videos like this so often. I don't understand why the world is deteriorating so fast and customers are just such a pain. But anyway, this starts out with the transmission transfer case rebuild. Guy tracks me down. Did a lot of research, checked out who I was, watched my videos, and said, oh my god, you got to rebuild my transmission transfer case. Now somebody had already rebuilt that and it failed in a very short time. So he brings it in to me after some talking and wants a transmission transfer case rebuild. But the first thing, and I should have caught this but I didn't, he's like, you know, it's an M38 Jeep. He's like, I don't want to mess up the paint on this. He's like, I can't match the paint. Can you rebuild this without, you know, cleaning all the paint off and hot tanking it and sandblasting, whatever. Leave the paint intact. At that point, I should have put it back in his truck, sent him on his way. But I'm like, you know, what the hell, I'll rebuild it. I did the Timken bearing upgrade, rebuilt the transmission, just as good as I do all of them, and it has just come back to bite me because of a very severely uneducated customer. We're going to walk around. I'm going to show you a few things. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened, but this is getting to be an epidemic, and I don't know what's happening to people, but it's quite common now, where the most uneducated people are screaming the loudest because they just have no automotive knowledge. They start out like they want to believe me and trust me with what I say, then they turn that back around on me and call me an asshole and say I don't know what I'm doing. So let's take a little walk around and I'll show you some various things and we'll get to the bottom of it. Okay guys, here are John's parts. Okay, now first gear was these teeth are all chipped up. I had a new old stock first gear, I put that in there. Now his transmission was rebuilt, you know, a short time ago. So second gear was good, reverse was good, and main shaft was good, input shaft was good. First gear was banged up pretty bad. Cluster gear didn't look too bad, and I was able to save it. So I put first gear in, put blocking rings in. On the transfer case, there's the shoes. They came apart a mess. Here's the, it was 1 1/8 inches, so it had these bearings on the intermediate gear. I did the bearing upgrade, Timken bearing upgrade. Now the transfer case was said to have been rebuilt, but these are the original bearings. They're pretty messed up. And the last guy that did it had where there should be 2 to 6 thousandths on the shaft for end play, had 82 thousandths. It was a disaster. I got everything shimmed in, everything went together beautiful. Very good transmission, transfer case. I give it back to the customer. And you know, he's like, hey, I want to put a clutch in. What's the best clutch? I sell him a clutch, the very best clutch, a Perfection. I use that in all my projects. Gets home, calls me up bitching about he's got a Perfection clutch and it's made in China. Well, bring it back. I don't care, you know. So he brings it back. He's like, oh yeah, I don't want Chinese things in my Jeep. Perfection is used by clutch builders, custom clutch builders. It's a very good clutch. I don't care where it's made. It puts a lot of clutches to shame. Give him his money back. He buys some oil. I give him some lube. I'm like, this is the correct lube for your transmission. So little by little, we're starting to have some, starting to really, he's pissing me off. He wants the information, but he doesn't believe what I'm saying. And where he really goes wrong is when he gets his USA made clutch and he goes to put the pilot bushing in. Now, I have a flywheel right here. Here's the flywheel. Here is just a random input shaft. This bushing I had in this flywheel. Okay, now that is your fit. This is a precision fit. Right there. I have already reamed this one. It goes into flywheel, you ream it. That has to be precise. This is a new pilot bearing. It won't turn on there. Okay, this one has not been reamed. When I put it in this flywheel, it's going to get even tighter. And I'm just going to show you that right now in real time. This is like, I don't know why this happens, but this is another epidemic where guys just don't get this. Now I'm putting that pilot bushing in there. Input shaft. It's not going in there. You can't press that in there. This is where a lot of guys go wrong. This is where John went wrong. I said, hey man, got to get a 5/8 reamer in there. You got to ream that out. Oh, I don't have a reamer. I'm just going to take a drill bit, chuck it in my drill, and try and grizzle that pilot bushing. I'm very confident what's happening. Now, you could take this. A lot of guys will take this. They won't know anything about reaming that, even though I've gone over it in 100 videos. And they'll draw this in with the bolts. All right, they'll pull their bell housing to the engine with the bolts. That's never going to be the right running clearance. And I see this all the time. Okay, so now, John gets his transmission in the Jeep. Sends me an email, leaving me messages. I can't shift my Jeep. I cannot shift it. It won't shift. Okay, I get back to him. Hey, put it, shut the Jeep off. Can you shift it, you know, without the Jeep running? Yeah, click, 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 going through everything. Reverse, first, second, third. Beautiful. I'm like, okay, fire it up. Can you shift it? No. But don't worry, I got an inch of free play. I could care less about your clutch at this point. Your flywheel and your input shaft are not releasing. This is what you have going on. There's not enough clearance in there, so you're never, when you depress the clutch, the transmission's still spinning, engine speed, okay? Of course you're not going to cheat. It's like, oh, it grinds. This is bad, that's bad. So, I'm trying my best to deal with this particular guy. And I'm going nowhere. He's like, it's my shifter. You did a shit job on my transmission. Everything is bad. You screwed me on the transmission bearing upgrade. You know, I don't want that. And what is it? And I don't understand. Oh my God, what is happening with people? So, he will not check and see what's going on here. So, next thing he does is he tells me the oil that I sell is a synthetic oil and it has ruined his transmission. I've sold, I don't know, thousands of gallons of this stuff. Okay? He's like, it's not right for Jeeps. It's the exact stuff that was put in at the factory. It's made out of modern base materials. There's no, it's not synthetic. So he's starting to get pissy. He drains the gear oil he bought from me out and he puts Napa GL1 in there. Now the gears are spinning even faster because that's super lightweight stuff. He can't shift it. So he sends me an email, calls me an asshole so many times. I have reached an absolute new plateau, and I love it because he has no idea what he's saying. And this is just, I like being at this place because people have to learn the hard way. Naturally, I stand behind everything I do. You want to bring it back? We'll go through it again. You could sit right here across from the bench. I'll take the whole thing apart, put it back together for you. Nope. You're the biggest asshole I ever met, he tells me. I'm like, all right, don't contact me again. So I block him on the email. I block him on the phone. Shoots me a text. Oh, hey, I've been checking. The general consensus is, I've talked to everybody in the industry, and the general consensus is, you know, you're a hack. You're the biggest asshole in the industry. Fantastic. You know, I'm getting to the place where a lot of good Jeep guys that I respect, that's where they are. A lot of people that I know, that I follow on YouTube, a lot of the guys that really create good stuff, do really good work, we're all in agreement. This is a good place to be. We have the most uneducated customers that have come down in years. Okay? Now, there's nothing wrong with the gear lube. There's nothing wrong with the transmission. But he's going to pull this transmission out, and he's going to ship it to the other side of the country to have another guy do it. The first guy, yes, he screwed it up, but they had a falling out. I'm the second guy to work on this. Absolutely bench tested. Everything is perfect. I have done so many transmissions. There's nothing wrong with this one. He does not believe me. He will not believe this is his problem. He won't even look at it. It's going cross country. I could care less what they find or what they do. Before he actually put this in, I don't know, he had an accident. He spilled some oil all over the back of the emergency brake drum and ruined the brake shoes that I relined. And now he's like, and those brake shoes you relined, what a joke they are. My shoes are all distorted and this and that. I don't know how he thinks that the shoes could have gotten distorted by putting brass rivets through the brake shoe. He's lashing out. He won't show me anything. He won't bring the transmission back. But he says he's talked to everybody in the industry, and, you know, I know absolutely nothing. Now I'm going to take out some stuff here. I'm going to show you just how many transmissions I've done already this year. So hang in there with me. Okay, guys. Every January, I take all these pills that are in the transfer case and keep you from going into too low. I take them, I throw them in a jar. Now this is what I've done since January, okay? Take a look at these. Just watch them. These are all transfer cases that I've rebuilt. And this is only the guys, that want me to take the pill out. A lot of guys want the pill in there. I don't know why. But do you see how many that is? I counted those. I think there's about 40 of them there. Okay? Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Now, what you guys don't know is I do a lot of transmission transfer cases for other people, and then they sell them as their own. Okay? So they'll be like, hey, I need 3 transmissions. I need 3 transfer cases. Okay, I'll bang them out, give them to somebody else, and they'll sell them as their own. Very, very, very much impossible that your transmission screwed up, John. Like I say, everyone is bench shifted, it's tested. I make sure the blocking rings aren't stuck. It's just unfortunate that you're so stupid. Okay? Now I've done this many, and I'll probably do twice as many by the end of the year. You know, I'm not naming names. The guy that rebuilt it the first time, he comes from Pennsylvania, says he can rebuild anything, does anything. He's all over the place. He's here, he's there, he's on Facebook, YouTube, blah, 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 blah. Well, he had 82,000 of end play there. That's just insane. I got everything taken care of. Like I say, the lube I use, I've been running that lube for forever. It's the best stuff you can possibly. It slows the gears down. You can shifts like butter. When your input shaft is turning because it's too tight in the flywheel, and like I say, this is an epidemic. When this doesn't stop turning, when you put the clutch in and this is still turning, you're not going to shift. I don't care what kind of oil you got in there. I don't care if you got solid grease in there. It's not going to slow down. I'm glad that you don't trust me. I wouldn't want to work on your stuff again. I hope that when you send it across the country, you know, you pay a lot for shipping, and I hope that guy charges the hell out of you for taking it apart and putting it back together with nothing wrong with it. Guys, I don't understand what's happening in the Jeep world, but it's completely going to shit. I am glad, I'm fortunate that Scrambler is my last project. I will not do another restoration again. You are going to have to be so vetted to even get in the door now. if you're uneducated to the point where we can't have a good conversation, well, you're not coming in here. Go find somebody else. You know, I've just got too much stuff to do, and I take pride in my work, and I just need to find people that will appreciate that. And but they're in short supply. So I wish you the worst, John. You know, I hope everything goes to shit for you. You are not the kind of customer I want. And if guys out, if you think you want to bring something in here, it's going to be much harder now. I'm getting smarter, and I just don't need these kind of customers anymore. So, again, we have to do a rant like this just because, and other guys are like, you know, don't let these guys slide anymore. Call them out, you know, just call them out and let other shops know, you know, what they're going to get when they get a guy like this. Good luck to whoever gets this guy next. If you want to contact me, I can tell you more details, you know, about, you know, how uneducated he is and what he's going to do and how he's going to drive you crazy. And going back to how he didn't want the paint to come off. One of his biggest pet peeves was after he would not let me clean it correctly, don't put that in a solvent tank, don't sandblast it, was you left pieces of silicone on there from the last guy. I mean, get this through your head, people. Don't tie my hands and expect me to do something, you know? I mean, I'm either going to clean it or I'm going to do the best I can, and you get what you get. There's nothing wrong with your transmission. I did not have the chance to show you that, so I don't know what you're going to do, but you're not welcome back here, and I never want to see you again. Okay, guys, we're going to move on from this, and I got other better videos coming, don't worry, but I just had to call this guy out, and thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.